I'm going to show you, step by step, how to achieve this render. Select Film, Blank, name the project, then hit Create. Start by creating a new level. File, New Level, Basic, then Create. Click on the ground, then press Delete on your keyboard. Don't forget to save this level that we just created by doing Ctrl+S on your keyboard. I'll name it Forest. Remember, this is the name of the level, not the name of the project. Click on Selection Mode and change it to Landscape. The settings are all good by default, so just click Create. Get closer to the ground, make the brush size smaller, and start making the ground. You can also change the tool strength here. You should also use the Erase tool to adjust your ground. Just like the paintbrush, you can change the size and strength of it. Looks good. Back to selection mode. And as always, to remove this red error message, you just click on Play and then Escape. Let's download some assets from Bridge. You could search for forest ground. This one will do. If you don't see a download button, you might need to log in. The sign in button should be around here. All right, click on the export button. Now search for wild grass. There you go. This could be extremely useful. Now go find some more plants. Pick the plants you want, then go back to the scene. This player start thing appears every time we create a new level, but as always, delete it if you're not making a game. All these things are quite annoying to have in the view. Just press G on your keyboard to turn on game mode. It hides those, not deactivate, just hide them for you. Okay, now select the ground and scroll down a little to apply the ground material we downloaded. Oof, no, the texture repeats itself way too much. That's quite easy to fix. So you're just going to double-click on the material. Then turn on tiling and put a lower number so it repeats itself a lot less. Point 2 looks good. Okay, that's indeed way better. Now do Ctrl+L on your keyboard. Keep holding those keys and move around your cursor to move the sun. Don't worry about it too much for now. We'll get back at this later. Select Exponential Height Fog in the outliner. You'll see fog density here. Try some numbers, see what happens. Open Epic Games Launcher and go to the Marketplace. Search for Megascans tree. There are a few options, we'll pick this one. Select Add to Project and then find your project. Back to Unreal, do Ctrl+ Spacebar to open the content drawer, and you'll see this new folder Black Alder. First, you'll see a foliage folder. From there, you can't drag trees in the scene because it's for foliage only. I'll show you soon what's foliage. For now, go to Geometry, then Simple Wind. Those are the trees that you can use directly. So just drag and drop some trees there. If you see something like this loading, you don't have to keep holding the click on your mouse. Just wait. It's still not ready. You can see the progress here. Now it's done. We can import another tree. And if the fog is annoying, you can hide it by clicking on that eye icon next to it. Oh wow, the last two are way too small. I'll delete those. And these too. Now you can quickly place them around the forest path. Okay, let's add a camera. Click on Perspective and select the camera. I turned off the fog to place the trees, but now I can add it back. And maybe try some different values. And again, Ctrl+L to change the sun position. With the fog still selected, scroll down a little and go find Volumetric Fog. When you turn this on, it makes some awesome changes to the scene. You could make something really beautiful with those sun rays, but not today, because we're creating a dark forest. I'm changing the fog again to see if I can find something better. Okay, select the directional light and try changing the intensity. And if you double-click on the white rectangle, you can change the color to something more blue. Click on the fog and you can change its color here too. Something a little more yellow could fit this well. Okay, now let's try changing the fall off a little. And the density. And the directional light intensity. Okay, let's try getting a good lighting. Good enough for now. If you're still in the camera view, get out now. Click Selection Mode and select Foliage. Here, you'll see all the foliage assets you downloaded from Bridge, like the wild grass. Click on the first one, then while holding Shift, click on the last one to select them all. Then click the checkbox and it will check all of them. This brush will paint the ground using the foliage assets that are checked. We see too much flowers and other plants in this. I want only the grass. Just do Ctrl+C on your keyboard to undo that. Go uncheck everything that is not grass. Now we got a brush that will only paint grass. Paint density is simply the amount of grass assets that will appear in the brush area. You could just paint like that. Select all the grass assets. And this here is the density of each individual grass asset. The maximum for the brush is 1, but you can get a much higher density if you put this number higher. If you have a pretty powerful computer or you're just completely crazy, you can make the brush size giant and just cover the whole zone with one click. And boom, grass on the whole ground. Looking decent already, but we still have a lot to do. Now unselect all these grass assets and go select all the other plants we downloaded. Okay, cool. Now unselect those plants. We're going to add some trees. Control plus spacebar to open the content drawer, then go in the black alder folder, then in the foliage folder, then in the simple wind folder. And these are all foliage assets that work just like the grass. So select all those you want, then drag and drop in that foliage place that's quite small, but we can reach it right there. And look, the trees are there. Woohoo! Select them all and check it. You should be very careful about the density you put the trees at. These are quite hard to handle for the computer, especially if you're doing this on a potato. This density is quite horrible. All the trees appeared at the same place. Have you ever wondered why you've never seen an elephant hiding in a tree? It's because they're really good at it. Yeah, so I'm putting the density lower to make something that looks good as a forest. If even 0.1 is too much, you can change the density right there. Just make sure all the trees are selected in the foliage section. Okay, now that's good. Maybe a little too much, but we can always adjust later. My computer is gonna hate me for this, but let's paint some trees. I'll go back in the camera and manually place the first trees we added at the beginning. For that, I'll need to go back to selection mode. This is a little laggy, because I put way too much grass and trees. Maybe going to unlit will help. It doesn't because the camera view is still rendering full quality. Oh wow, so laggy. I can just unpin the camera and it should fix the issue. Awesome! That's so much better now. Go back in the camera and we will place some trees. How about going back to lit and see what we got? Looking great. But just a little problem. This is supposed to be a forest path, not a tree wall. Let's do some change to that, but first in unlit mode, out of the camera. And let's just fix this part. I'm going to foliage, then making sure all the trees and only the trees are selected, then going to the erase tool. If even one of density isn't enough, just put it to 0 and it will erase everything you want. Way better. I don't know why I put so many trees at the beginning. That's so much better. Still a little laggy, but that's okay now. I think I put too much grass. I mean, the density is too strong. Select all the grass foliage here. And I'll put my erase density to 0.5. Don't forget to select all the grass foliage and to make sure it's only the grass that's selected. Now I'm just making a big brush and erasing the whole thing with my 0.5 density. Back to the paintbrush, I can now continue the forest path, adding some more grass in the way. I unselected the grass and selected all the tree foliages again, so I erased some of those from my path. Okay, back to lit, and that's what we got. You can leave foliage mode, back to selection. I'm now manually adding some of the 3D plants we downloaded at the beginning from Bridge. They are in the Mega Scans folder, in the 3D Plants folder. Just like the trees, you can't directly drag and drop those that are in foliage. Now I'm making some adjustments to the sun position. The directional light now. And some change to the fog. Then I select the skylight and make its intensity a little higher to make the whole scene brighter. Open the Epic Games Launcher and go to the Marketplace. Search for Twinmotion, Winter. And this free pack has some free posed humans that you can use in your project. Now we got the posed human pack right there in this folder. You can open that and then you get all the characters in this folder. Look at the folder list on the left right there. You can open this folder and quickly browse through all the characters you have. We got quite a good collection in this. If you can't find any characters you like for your shot, it's fine. I will show you how to create a custom meta-human in a future tutorial of this series. This one looks perfect to me. She looks like she's walking and looking around. So let's just place her. Make sure she's touching the ground and place the camera. I think I'll change something with the camera. The focal length would probably be better at 22. Go to the cinematic viewport, then back in the camera. Just so we can access the grid. And we're done with Unreal. A little color grading can completely change the vibe of a scene. I won't show it in this series because it's about Unreal Engine, but I highly recommend you learn about color grading. Another environment completed. Find all the other tutorials of this series in this playlist. See you soon.